I mean, the perfect way to start, take 2 of the A-League, you sort of said you're basically starting again.
Yeah, perfect way to start. Come here, difficult place, hasn't been a good place for us, for a little while. Derby match, so it's not gonna be a straightforward match, that's for sure. But credit to the players, for the way they performed, the way they fought. Played in periods where we could and could hurt them, and we knew also, pretty vulnerable on defensive set pieces. So ultimately, probably that's the key moment in the game, and we execute it well.
Tactically in that first half, you were able to find spacing behind, like the work you've done in the last week or two in particular, you're able to produce on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Expected them to be aggressive. Know that when they're pressed, there's some gaps in their press. Gives us opportunities to look and use our pace as well. And I thought it's a really well scored goal. The first one in particular. Had a couple other opportunities to get in behind, didn't take advantage of them, and in fairness, they had their moments as well, and you'd expect that.
What is it? I mean, that's a game that you probably could have lost. Like a lot of the times you lost last year when you're under the pump in that second half, you sort of conceded 1, you might concede 2 or 3. Is that where this team's evolved in their mental toughness or their approach? Or
look, I think the team has a strong unity. Really great attitude to want to work and grow together. So it's one game, but it's an important game. It's important to win this game and to leave here with 3 points. And it could have been different, of course, but like I said, they really were resilient and robust in when they needed to be, and were able to hurt them when we had the opportunities.
Nick Montgomery expressed his frustration at the VAR, just the way it was used, taking back 30 odd seconds. And I mean, is that big picture? Are you happy with the way the VAR is sort of conducted here? He used an example as the World Cup example where they really only focus on the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
Whatever happens previously.
I haven't seen it, first of all, so in the end, we've been on the end of some poor calls as well in this season in particular. So, today, rub of the green goes our way, and, if it's a foul, it's a foul. If it's a handball, it's a handball. And, like I said, we've been on the end of them as well, so I can only comment on, what matters in the end, and that's 3 points.
You made 5 changes to the starting side. I mean, coming off a good performance against Melbourne City, was that just reward for those guys that worked during that 4-week break, or was it tactically that you're looking to change things? Or
it was a clean slate, like if you're going to reward players for training well, you've got to be able to be consistent in that message. And like I said from the beginning of, basically at the end of that Melbourne City game, it's a clean slate, and whoever wants to work hard enough and put their best foot forward, they'll get an opportunity. And it's not to say the other boys aren't working hard, but we played enough games to have an idea of what we needed for today, and boys that came in acquitted themselves well, and boys that came on gave a huge shift in a period where it was quite difficult, so they also contributed.
Daniel Steins, what can you tell us about him? I mean, it was his first start for the club today. You happy with his output?
I'm pleased with his progress. He came in and had a difficult time in Perth, but really intelligent kid, works hard, wants to improve, always asking questions. Has a little bit of X factor in the front third. He's not scared. He's brave to get on the ball, and that's what I ask from my attackers. I want him to get on the ball. I want him to try to create things and work hard. And Daniel acquitted himself well today.
I guess Trent's the other one. I mean, scoring against his old club, and he probably could have had a couple more. Is that a bit he has to develop when he's got a bit of time? He seems to be the ones that he doesn't take as clinically as the one touches.
Yeah, I think it's just the ability to stay involved in the game for the whole time, not to go in and out of games, and also obviously when you get to those positions, because he's quick enough to get into those situations, we create enough of those opportunities, and in the end, like you said, he could have had 3 today.
You spoke this week about playing Jets football. Was that first half the Jets football you talked about?
I think the goal was a pretty good indication of the kind of football we can play. And like I said, you're playing against someone else as well, and you've got to be able to ride certain moments in the game and stay consistent. And like I said, if there's areas for growth, they're still there, because we win the game in the end, and we want to win the game in a more emphatic fashion than the way we had to go about it in the second half. But we also had to have other attributes, and we had those today.
Do you guys feel? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I bogged him up.
Do you guys feel confident you'll be able to take the momentum from today's game into future matches?
Into the next
year? Yeah.
Today's today, tomorrow's a new day, and in the end, I want them to enjoy what they've achieved tonight, which is a derby match, and more importantly, what they've, the smile they've given our supporters. I think that's the biggest thing that I wanted to play a part in, that we wanted to play a part in. And then Friday's game is going to be difficult. You got Brisbane, they've got an extra couple of days, and we've got to prepare the same because things change quickly. So you review, you follow your process, and you make sure you're at it again come the next day you're on the field.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.